truly understand what people may say. They believe to think how we think is far from okay. But I believe it's never okay to abandon your dreams. And it just so happens that our dream is to lift up a holy king. See, this is my life, my choice, and I choose to lift up my hands. And please don't be alarmed if when the music comes on, I begin to dance and run across the room until I can barely catch my breath and fall on the floor because I gave it all and have nothing left. See, I'm gon' worship until I pass out. There is no other option. See, I came to worship until I pass out. Cause we go hard in the paint, hard.
I'm going to worship him till I pass out. Welcome to Rightly Dividing the Word. And we begin this new series with God fearing. And we're going to continue with the subject of fear, beginning with Psalms 27:1 reads, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Shall I be afraid of this guy right here? Man, he's big. He's omnious. He has much power, but he has no grace. Versus this little guy right here. On the surface, seems small, seems very fragile, but behind the scenes, he comes with a big stick called big insurance. Without insurance, you can't get our license, can't get a car, nope. Sometimes can't get a house. So the question becomes, whom shall I fear? Who should fear the Lord? And the obvious answers are enemies to his people, enemies to the Israelis, enemies to the Hebrews, enemies to the Jews, enemies to the Christians, enemies to the believers, the disobedient, the ungodly, the sinful, and yes, Satan himself. But what about you? Should you be afraid of the Lord? And the obvious answer is yes, you too should be afraid of the Lord. Are you afraid of your life? And one would say, yes. Do you oftentimes feel like Deuteronomy 28:66? And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear night and day, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. Are you afraid of your life? Because he said, your life shall hang in doubt before him. Thou shalt fear him night and day, and shall have no assurance of your life. So why am I talking about this? Because on one Sunday, you're saved, and you have all the assurances, salvation, as it seems. But then two Sunday services from that, you're going ahead. You're not saved anymore. So what's going on here? What's going on here? And what I mean by that, not speaking in tongues. Oh, you're not saved. You haven't been baptized. You're not saved. Let me go even deeper. Oh, she's showing too much cleavage. She going to hell. I was once told because I had dreads, I was going to hell. So much fear, so much confusion. But we're told in 2 Timothy 1:7, but God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of sound mind. So why is all this fear being taught from the pulpit? Why is the congregation going out, echoing what is being taught in the pulpit of fear? But it says we're not given a spirit of fear. And I'm going to go forward. Genesis 26:24. When the Lord appeared before Abraham, he said, "Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, and will multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake." And remember, we're rightly dividing the word. We are always going to read from Genesis to Revelation from the perspective that we are saved. And because we're saved, and because I know this, I know I am of Abraham's covenant. So this how I see this, or this how I read this from a saved perspective. Fear not, for I am in thee. Because I am saved, he lives in us. So fear not, for I am in thee, and will bless thee, and will multiply thy seed for my servant's sake. Still confused, still not making sense. Still, when you look at this book, you see empty pages, don't know what to believe, still afraid for your life. So much fear, but yet we're told God did not give us the spirit of fear. So, how does John explain this? So, from 1 John 4, verse 16, please read the whole chapter 1 John 4, and please read the whole verse 1 John 4:16. But I want you to pay close attention to what John said. He said, God is love. And remember, and rightly dividing the word, we're always going to let the word define itself. So God is love. God is love. God is love. And John expound upon this further in 1 John 4, in verse 18. He says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment, and the one who fears is not made perfect in love. And he told us in 1 John 4:16, God is love. So therefore, there's no fear in God. God drives out fear, not us, not the pastor, not the bishop, not Jehovah Witnesses, not Baptists, not Seventh-day Adventists, not non-denominational, not one apostle, not one holiness, not Pentecostal, but God drives out fear. And because fear has to do with punishment, and we know from John 3:17, but God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, to punish the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So because fear has to do with punishment, and he sent his son into the world to not punish us, that we might be saved through him. So the one that fears is not made perfect in his love in God.